This is Joy Rowland, and you're listening to the It's Possible podcast. This is episode number 28 from Beginner to Millions in Real Estate with Kate Adah. Welcome to the It's Possible podcast. This is the podcast that sparks the transformation of your money mindset, empowering you to pave the way for financial success and wealth creation. This is where we study what the wealthiest and most successful people do. Not only do we study these successful people, we implement what we learn so that we create the life we want and deserve. Hi there, my name is Joy Rowland, your host. I created wealth from changing my money mindset. Yes, it's possible for you too. So pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea. This is going to be fun. Hello, everybody, and as always, I hope you are doing very well wherever you are in the world. Welcome to episode number 28 of the It's Possible podcast. I'm so excited for you to listen to this episode today because I have a special guest. Her name is Kate Adah. Not only is she a special guest, she's also my friend. I've known her for over 6 years now, and she's just so inspiring for women. She went from beginner to millions of dollars in real estate. She's self-taught, so she was just so intrigued about real estate, and that was how she got involved. And I wanted to air this episode so that if anyone is listening and is interested in building wealth in real estate, which is one of the pillars I teach in my program, because real estate is one of the key wealth building vehicles. So I'll encourage you to just listen and take notes where you can. So I'm excited. Here is my conversation with Kate. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the It's Possible podcast. I am so excited. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I'm smiling from left to right. The reason I'm excited is because I have an amazing guest. Her name is Kate Adah, and she's achieved so much, which I think will be a huge inspiration for all of you ladies. She's built enormous wealth in real estate as well as in interior decoration or interior design. And she's here to share wisdom to help us create wealth too. So, welcome to the show, Kate.
Thank you, Joy. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited. I know I just gave a very brief introduction to you there, but why don't you start by introducing yourself to our audience and what you do?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Adah. I'm I'm an interior stylist. At the same time, I'm a realtor, amongst other things. But yes, those are the primary things that I'm focusing on right now. My real estate business and my interior design.
Fantastic. I must say, when I newly came to Canada, you were one of the biggest inspiration for me because you create a wealth and you have a lovely home. I have told you many times you have such a massive home and it's so beautiful. So good job on that. So, can you tell us what made you interested in building wealth? Like what motivated you to expand yourself and build wealth?
I think it will all go back, coming from where I come from. It was
Mhm.
very important for me moving to Canada as a new immigrant. And it was just the mindset. At first, I struggled with the fact that it was a change, new environment, cultural shock, and all that. But I was fully into interior design back home. And being into that back home, it's a lot of it builds you up. You don't even know it. So it's everything back home in Nigeria. It's being a business person, you're very rugged. You pivot really quickly because people make change their minds so often, and you have to be able to be adaptable. So those were those skills that when I came in here, the first 6 months, to be fair with you, I was literally depressed. My husband went back to school. I had 4 kids. I was just frustrated. And I came from, it was a bit more comfortable back home. I had help. And I remember one day having my 4 kids and thinking, oh my gosh, it seems like I had them in one day, because back home I had that help. I didn't know what it was till I have my kids. Everybody say, hey, feed me, feed me. I'm like, you can't feed yourself. And, and then I had to make up my mind and say, you know what, this is home. I'm someone that is naturally attracted to beautiful homes. I think it's something that it came to me. It's natural. Maybe I inherited it from my dad without knowing my dad was like that as well. But it was something that I loved. And on few occasions I could go around. Fortunately, when I came to Canada, I didn't really have anybody. Like, I didn't know anyone. And
Yeah.
sometimes we'll drive around and everything. And one of the questions I ask myself is, oh my gosh, um, who owns these houses? And
Yeah.
then I remember trying to get the rental property. It was really difficult for us as new immigrants to get our first rental. They were asking for a lot of documentations, which we didn't have. And my realtor at that time was really helpful. And through her, I got to understand real estate and the investment part of it, and how you buy something and after you make money out of it, the equity. She explained a lot to me. And at that point, I knew I didn't have the right documentation, a job or anything, to buy one. While we rented, I remember noticing that the money we came with from Nigeria with was just going
Yeah.
down. For my husband, oh my God, this part of the world, if you lose it, you never get it back. How are
Yeah.
we going to put it in? And I remember, I don't know where this came from.
Mm.
And things with me, with my real estate, I used to say that my gods was very strong whenever it
Mm-hmm.
comes to real estate investments. And I realized, you know what, this is what we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
We bought our first home, but we rented it. We never lived there because it was the step. I used it as a stepping stone to where I wanted to be. So at that point, when we came, we rented this really huge house that had like a 2-bedroom finished basement. And what we did at that point, we subleased the basement, which now made us have extra money. Our rental was literally next to nothing because we had a split. And we were able to save. And I remember telling my realtor, I'm like, we need to take, this is what I have, and I need you to get me whatever this money can afford, whatever it is, just a few conditions to it. It has to be a city that has an economy of its own. When I mean an economy of its own, when you're going into investments, especially in real estate, you have to make sure, even if you're going to Timbuktu, make sure there's it has economy, where I say it has a school, people work there, people live there. They don't even need to come downtown to do anything, because that place is already booming. It's already has economy. People are working, people are leaving, people are schooling. Like your whole life can be done within everything. The kids' school, everything's within the city. And I remember then having my realtor taking me to KWC, which was Kitchener Waterloo Cambridge. And then it was not as big as it is now. And I just insisted that, you know what, if I'm going to go away, like really far from the city, it does have its own economy. It was very important, the location. I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to stay, no matter how small the city was, I insisted that we stayed in the best neighborhood in that city, because it's always location, location, location. And once we got there, we were lucky. I got a house. I made my decision to buy that house in like 15 minutes. Like, I just got home, my husband, I told him, oh, we're going to look at a house. And the next thing I called him, I'm like, I just bought a house. And it was so funny. We were lucky. We got a detached with a finished basement. And I was able to get that. And that was where my journey started. And with that single property, I was able to build on it, on my equity, because before we knew it, we had built up equity. And then the next part for me was I needed to know my why for the house I lived in, because I have 4 kids. We needed somewhere that was big and the kids could grow into, have their own various room. And I spoke with my realtor at that time. this is the size of house I need. This is my budget. Can we look for where it was going to work? And I remember moving here at that time. I remember when we moved here, it looked so far. It looked like it was up, but I was okay with it because I was more concerned with my house, like my home, than even who was my, like whatever location it was. So I knew that with time it was going to build up. So I was lucky with that mentality to come in here at a good time. And we've been here for close to 4 years now. And because we came here early before everybody moved in, I think my house is now twice the price. So, and then I still was able to get another property with this same property that I got, the first one in Kitchener, has been what we've used to acquire every other. And I realized that this is like one of the best decisions that we made. But another thing was I tried to hone in, because I'm not your typical 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I asked myself, what do I do? What is that natural thing that I will do, even if I'm not paid to do it, and I'll enjoy it? And literally, my instinct came to interior design, interior decoration. I love it. Like, I genuinely will do it. I'm passionate about it. So I started with friends and family. I'll offer free services. And I had referrals from my past work back home. And with that, I started building up clientele. And over time, I've been lucky to have worked with some really nice clients that have provided both referral and in my interior design and my real estate. But going back, I actually started my interior design business before I even got my real estate license. Because at that point, with my interior design, everybody will say, oh, talk to realtors, try to talk to builders. And I struggled with it. Nobody will give me a chance. So I thought, you know what? I love interior design. I've gone through the phases of interior design. I've been a renter. I've been an investor. I've dealt with new builds. I've managed properties. So you know what? Who better be a realtor than someone that is experienced all through it? So I was lucky. I went through it, aced my exams, and started my real estate journey. And it's been, I will say, it's something that I'm grateful for, because it's supported me on both ways, both my business and my real estate, and my interior design and my real estate. They work hand in hand. So it's something that I'm really grateful for.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, for someone listening right now who is interested in building wealth through real estate and like they have no idea where to start, can you guide them? What's involved and what should they be looking out for?
Oh, great. There's so many opportunities for people to really invest. One thing with real estate that I've noticed over time, when everybody's going, the whole bunch is going right, you go left. Look for places that are virgin, places that I always recommend, like I say, make sure they do have an economy. No matter how small the town is, there's some towns that have like maybe a factory, small somewhere. You go there because you will get people to rent it, because people coming to work for these people, they will want to leave there. So it's very important. Another thing is, even if you don't have the income only by yourself, you could also come together with close friends or people there. We do have avenues where you could come and create an incorporation and you can be part owners. You don't have to, you also have to make sure that you do your maths right. I see a lot of people make huge mistakes investing where it's already established. Real estate to me is like a clock. We have 1 to 12 o'clock, depending on your financial capacity. But I recommend when an area is already at, let's say, 10 o'clock, that means that it's at the peak. Because right now, let's say, for example, a home in Milton, a detached home in Milton, it's going for like, let's say 1.5 million. If you go to St. Catharines or Oshawa, same thing is going for almost 1.4 million, 1.3. So the difference is not much. But the person that bought in Milton for 1.5 maybe bought in Milton 1.5 3 years ago, thinking was going to grow. But he got into Milton when Milton was 10 o'clock. So maybe they bought in 1.3 3 years ago because Milton was at 10. Now, after 2 years, it's 1.2. The person in Oshawa 2 years ago got into Oshawa when Oshawa was at 6 o'clock. But that same property for, let's say, 750. 2 years down the line, he's on 1.3. You in Milton, you're on 1.2, on 1.3. So you've built an equity of 200,000. They've built an equity of almost 500,000. Rental. You want to rent in Milton, same house, that same detached. There's a maximum in what the rental is. So always do a research of where you're going to and what the rental market is. If that house in Milton was going to rent for 4,000, Oshawa will rent for 3.5. So at the end of the day, you see that whatever his mortgage is, it might be like 3,000, and you in Milton, you're stuck with like a 5,000 mortgage. So you're already going negative, and the person in Oshawa is on positive and already has that equity. So I always advise my clients that take your eyes off like location when it comes to investment, more of doing the return. Another big investment is multiplex. Investing in multiplex, that's a huge investment where you're able to do multiple homes and rent it out to different people. Student rental is another good investment opportunity because students are dying to get a place. And as a realtor, one of the experiences that I've noticed is that immigrants find it really hard to get rental because of some requirements, which I literally, they can't meet up because they've never worked in Canada. That's why they're immigrants. There's a huge gap. If you could get those people to rent your home, and from my experience, they're one of the best tenants you could get. So that is another good one. Another good investment could be land. If you do have the resources, what you could invest in the land in, let's say, far away, and forget it. Before you know it, in another 5-6 years, developers are knocking at your door, trying to buy it 10 times over what you bought. So those are like, it all depends on your financial strength. And if you really want good return in investment over a short time, that means you have to put in huge capital. So let's say, for example, you go buy a house in the best location in a high-blue area, like in Toronto, you go to like all the High Park and Oakville and buy those big houses, and you keep it for like a year or two. Yeah, there's normally a good return, but that's a lot of investments in there. And sometimes you could be able to spread out your investment, because I would tell clients, instead of you putting in like 4 million into one property, you could do 4 properties or even 6 properties with that. And over time, you could sell them while they still build equity, then being stuck with one. You can imagine if the market falls today, it's going to be just one property. If you're going to lease, let's say you're leasing your $3 million house for $10,000, and then you take that 3 million and go to somewhere like away from town, like away from the GTA, and you get yourself, like, even if it's like 6 townhouses for like 650, you equally get like almost, for 3 million, you're getting almost like 5 of those properties, and each pays you like 2.8. If you multiply by 6, you see that your return on investment is much more. And even if you say, you know what, I want to get rid of 2 of those houses, at that point, you've made like maybe 800, 900. If it's a detached, you're making nothing like 500. You've made $1 million. And you still have hold of those investments. So for me, I always believe that you could try to spread out your investments. But if you do have huge capital, you could do that. And so, yeah, real estate, it's one of the great areas to invest. And if you feel Ontario is too expensive, you could go to other cities. One of the sure things for me is when looking outside, going to other provinces that you're not too sure of, my recommendation is to stick to student rental. Get properties close to a school. Those are very good, or multiplex. Those are very good return in investment as well. But do your homework. Make sure you know what it is. If you're going for something you're looking to rent, hold on to. Pre-construction can be good as well. But there's so many rules and regulations that the government have put into to pre-con right now, so it's quite difficult to get your return. It's a market I can't predict. I did pre-con myself. I was one of those lucky people that did build a lot of equity on pre-cons, but I can't say that for people that invested a year or two ago. So I'm not, you have to make sure that the market is right. Another good thing is if you currently have you have lose money with you, there are a lot of assignments out there. A lot of people that are invested in pre-construction are looking to get rid of the investments. So if you can reach out to me, I could help you get some of those good deals that people are trying to get rid of. Like they're afraid of getting sued by the builder, so they're ready to let go of their down payment and even whatever the price is, just to get their properties, count their losses and get rid of their properties. Those are also very good avenues for investments as well.
Okay, that's fantastic. So then, in your journey of building wealth through real estate, like what challenges did you face and how did you overcome those challenges?
So first, it's always your income, especially just starting out newly. It's the income is very important. But what I've realized is when you have one good property that you build equity with, maybe rental, you could use that as an income as well to qualify you for your next investments. So that's why sometimes I recommend, there's a proverb in my place that says that if you want to go far, you go alone, or if you go with multiple, you go, So sometimes I always recommend, if it's something that you want to start, you could start with your friends, and you guys could come together and buy one. I did that with a couple of friends of mine. We invested in a property together and we sold it, and everybody was able to move away with such substantial amount of money that we could individually now put into another property. So you could do that when starting up. You don't have to. I know there's a mentality out there where everybody wants to do it on their own, but if it's something that you're trying to start small, I think you could are group of people that are ready to join you on that journey. Trustworthy
That's
people.
fantastic. So, Kate, I've been your friend for, I think, nearly 10 years now. So why didn't you tell me about this group of friends investing?
I have, you know what? You remember when you came, I had always mentioned to you, try get a house. I'm one big advocate, even before I became a realtor. I'm one big advocate
But you never
of
told me
property.
about the investment with friends.
So the investment with friends, we've gone way far. It wasn't, I wouldn't say there was a room for me to bring somebody. We were just like the four of us have always had this discussion. So that was what happened. But don't worry, I'm on the lookout for you now. And then it wasn't. Yeah, no, sincerely, I'm on the lookout for you now. And sometimes for me, before I refer people to something, I like to test it out myself. So now that I've done it, I see the pros and the cons of it. It's easy for me to talk to it because I've experienced. So yeah, that's one of the things I like to do. Those are one of my the hats I wear as a realtor, because I don't want to come to you as a realtor that all I do is buy and sell. I want to talk to you from my own personal experience. I want to talk to you what my journey was, what it is. So it's able for I'm able to relate with you as a renter, renting a property. I'm able to relate with you as someone trying to buy their first home. I'm able to relate with you as someone that, your mortgage was withdrew at the last minute. I've been there as well. I remember my first house, I was about to close, and then the lender withdrew. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been there. I've been there with the deposits, with trying to, do those monthly installments as trying to buy a pre-con. So I've gone through that journey, and now I've been through a journey investing with other people. So those experiences are things that I carry along with me. It's my journey, it's my story. I'm able to relate with people. So now that I'm dusted, I know what it is to be able to have a group of people come together, what the expectation is from I do have some challenges with it as well, which I will share with your audience if they want to know. So what I realized was we're four of us. We had invested in this property like, let's say 2-3 years ago. I even forgot about it. And within that time, two people within our friends had gone out to buy more properties. And I think with the whole real estate, with everything, I think they had drawn everywhere and it affected their credit. So when it was time to sell, to close, their credit score was so bad, we found it really hard to get a mortgage. We didn't see that coming. So it's something that you always have to check on each other to make sure that you're all in good standing.
Yeah.
To build up credits before. And then when it was time to close, some people didn't have documentation, some had documentation, some we had to deal with different mortgage brokers because we're trying to compromise on one person or on the other. And then at the end, and these were things that we didn't talk about in the beginning. What was it we wanted to end, like doing closing where we're going to have all our names on title, or we wanted to create an incorporation. We didn't have that discussion from the onset. We just felt, friends, let's jump in it. When it was time to close, we were divided. Some didn't want their names on the title because they had other properties. They wanted incorporation. Some, they wanted their names on the title. So those were decisions that we wish we had discussed from the onset on what to do, on what is the expectation, how are we going to close. Those are decisions you should make at the end. Hey, we're going to close this house in 2 years. Everybody's credit score, I don't know how you're going to do it. We have to all be above 700 at least, just to make us, this is the time we follow up on each other. Make sure 6 months before closing, you're speaking to a mortgage broker, you're sync. And one other thing we had was, we had one person go on a trip. It was time for closing and she was nowhere to be found. She wasn't picking up her call, she wasn't replying emails and all that. So those are some of the challenges that come with working with people. And like I said, I wouldn't have known this if I didn't go through it myself. So those are little things that, with my experience, I think is something we should always look out for. Because another thing, when a group of, like, we were four, so you always see those that are you just carry along. They don't know what is happening. You do all the work, So it's good to identify what's everybody's strength before going into it.
Oh, that's fantastic. So for those listening who want your help and to invest in real estate, how can they reach you?
Well, you could reach me through Instagram at Kate Adah Kate Adah Realty. You could follow me on Instagram, and you could call me on 416-858-5703. I'm very happy to help.
Oh, that's fantastic. So ladies, I'm going to have all of those details in the show notes. So you have the link to Kate's Instagram, and I'm going to add the phone number as well. It's been fantastic having you on the show, Kate. Thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you. And just before I go, Joy, I'm so proud of your growth. I know how you started.
Yes.
There's no better person to sit on that table than you do. You're one person that has gone through it. I've seen
you so much. That means a lot.
No, I've seen you build so much wealth on how, I admire you a lot. I admire your strength, your tenacity, and I'm so proud of you. You've done well.
Thank
And
you so much.
I will tell your viewers, they're lucky to have you. They do have such a smart, intelligent woman speaking to them.
Thank you so much. I'm blushing. Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you because, like I said, you're one of the people I looked up to when I first came. And seeing a strong woman creating wealth is so inspiring. And being black as well, I'm black, so it was very good
And
to see what's possible for black women when you put your heart to it and take the action. So thank you so much for being an inspiration.
thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. If this episode encouraged, inspired, or taught you something new, please do me a huge favor by leaving me a review. Just head on over to Apple Podcast, find the show, go to the main page of the show, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see a section where you can write me a review. And lastly, come on over to my Facebook group where you get support as you build wealth. This is an exclusive group of high-achieving and ambitious women actively working on getting rich. Find the link to the group in the show notes. I hope to see you back here soon. God bless you.